Good evening, all. Come on in. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Play Like a Girl Australia. My name's Holly Bailey. It is an absolute privilege and a pleasure to have you all here tonight. So, a very warm welcome to you as you come on in. Please do me a favour. Let me know your name and where you're tuning in from in the chat function. If you're familiar with Zoom, chat function is down the bottom. If you're new to it, I'll take care of you in just a moment. But for now, a very warm welcome to all of you. What an absolute privilege it is to lead this group over the next 5 weeks and to get to know all of you along the way. So Taryn, great to see you. Shaz, awesome to have you. Hey Freya, hey Brenda, hey Amy, hey Kate, hey Justine, hey Isabel, Saskia, Alison, Jasmine, Lisa, Meg, Sienna, and Nicole. Awesome, awesome. So keep those hellos and locations coming through. As you will see, there are people from all over the country here through this program, from all codes, from all roles within sport. It's a really unique and diverse community we've got here. Can't wait for you to immerse in it over the next couple of weeks together. So I'm going to kick this session off. So I'm going to share my screen, and if you can see that, can I just get a thumbs up so that I'm good to go and I know that you're ready? All right, amazing. So first things first, I'd like to offer an acknowledgement of country before we begin. So we would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land on which we meet tonight, wherever you may be in the country, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We respectfully acknowledge the ongoing relationship with the lands, and we extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders here tonight. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we get into it. So if I could please ask all of you to have your first name and your surname on your Zoom box for me. So the way that you will do that, there are 3 dots to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom box. If you could click on that, scroll down to rename, and just make sure you've got your first name and your surname on your Zoom box. Just for ease for me, we've got some double ups in names, so that would be handy. If we have any tech issues, which hopefully we won't, but if we do, I'll communicate with you through our community platform and just give you an update on what's happening. Pen and paper, always handy, or a journal's really ideal. If you can keep all your thoughts throughout the program in one spot, that's highly recommended. We will use pen and paper throughout. So if you haven't got one, now's the time to go and grab one. Cameras, mute button and chat bar. So if you are new to Zoom, you can bring yourself on and off mute by using the space bar. One thing you will learn as we go, this is not about me talking at you. This is very interactive. There'll be lots of networking opportunities. So when we ask for sharing and input, I would love for you to take yourselves off mute and get involved in the conversation. We know that those that give the most get the most out of it. So we encourage you to be as interactive as you can throughout these next 5 weeks together. Now, our camera and sound. So my preference is that you have your camera on for as often as you can, or as long as you can. Sometimes people are moving between sport and in the car and things like that, and we understand that, but there is interaction. And so if you're in a group with people, it's much better if we're talking face to face, or if I can have cameras on for as long as possible, that is the ideal scenario. In terms of timing and energy, there will be times where you can sit back and listen a little bit and think and have gain some perspective on what we're talking about. And then there'll be times where it's a bit more interactive and you might have a one-on-one conversation with someone, or we might speak as a group. There'll be different types of learning for different styles, so keep an eye out for those along the way. And of course, we will record these sessions and they'll be posted in the news feed the next day, within the next 24 hours of our session. So if you can't make a session, you will be able to catch up on the recording and all of the goodness that we go through in these weekly huddles. All right, let's keep moving. So if you're here, it's likely you've already been through some of the pre-learning or all of the pre-learning. So you'll be somewhat familiar with my story, but one thing you will learn, and if you haven't already, this company and our mission is incredibly close to my heart and something that is just so deeply aligned with a sense of purpose. And for some period of time, I thought I was the only one who is so passionate about this. But what I've come to learn is there are hundreds and thousands of girls and women around this country that are equally as passionate as I am about what we're doing here. And if you're here, I'm guessing that you might be one of them, and I'm hoping that's the case. Now, could I just ask, guys, if I could have you on mute just for the time being, and we'll have an opportunity to get interactive a little bit later. All right, now I know I'm going to be preaching to the choir here, but what we know is that historically girls and women have faced a unique set of challenges and barriers in the pursuit of leadership. And for this program, we're talking about that in the context of sport. Now, those barriers might be due to societal norms, it might be cultural expectations, it might be biases of ourselves or of others, but whatever that may be, sometimes that leadership journey can be a steep and rocky one. I've personally felt the limitations myself, both the ones that I've placed on myself and the ones that the environment has dictated for me. But that's not something that I want to stand for in either way, whether it's myself or others. We want to find a way to move through those things together and lead in our most powerful way that we can. And what we've seen, if you saw in our preloading module with the trailblazers that have come before us, some amazing, amazing women that have set the path for us and trailblazed paths for us, we've continued to rise, even in the face of limitations and barriers. We've shattered glass ceilings. We are absolutely challenging stereotypes every single day. Now, our community and our program are here for that exact reason. We believe that we are able to progress faster if we do that through community. So you'll notice that community is one of our values here and something that we pride ourselves on building. So we want this space for us to be a really safe space over the next 5 weeks, and somewhere where on Monday nights we get to come together and talk about what's going on in our leadership, in our sports, how we can move together powerfully, but really help each other through on that journey, and realize that maybe we're not alone on that journey, that there are other people that are navigating similar challenges and can help us along the way. Now, we've all seen what happens when women are given the opportunity to lead. We bring diverse perspectives, different ideas, and unique ideas to the table that maybe haven't been thought about before. Now, what I'd like to do at this point is possibly just invite you to affirm the commitment that you're in the right spot. Can I just get a yes, I'm in, or a sounds good to me, or a bit of a celebration in the chat just to say, yeah, I'm definitely here in the right place and I'm in. I'll keep an eye on the chat function here. There's a hell yeah, yeah, I'm here for this. Yes, I am all in. Amazing. I love that. Keep active in that chat and let's keep high vibe throughout this session. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love that. Thanks, team. Now, we are going to do a really brief round of introduction. So there were quite a few of us here tonight, but you're started to get to know me a little bit. I want to get to know you, and I want everyone to know who's in the room. I'm so inspired by reading your applications and by reading your pre-learning forms and why you're here. But I want us to all immerse in that energy and all immerse in why we're here, what we do, why that's so important to us to commit our time and energy to be here in the first place. So we are going to do a round of introductions. I'm going to ask each of you to share your name, what sporting code or club you're involved with, and what brought you along to play like a girl. So Taryn, we're going to start with you. Could I ask you to bring yourself off mute, please?
Sorry, just getting rid of the chat. So I'm not actually associated with a sporting club per se. I just have always been a fan of sports. And I have the opportunity with my uni degree to do a lot of internships and get involved in sport. So it's definitely more on this side of my life than as a kid. And yeah, just from being exposed to the industry across multiple different sports, just the lack of participation from like even like in like grassroots levels, and even if it's just like the how do I like the want is there, but it just could be lacking the support. And yeah, just that. So like that's always been one thing that yeah I've always wanted to say or ask myself all the time, like what can I do to change this and put myself in a position where I can make that difference, because at the moment, I'm just nobody that, so I'm like, what steps can I take and how can I network and where can I put myself to be able to change that? That's why I'm here. Yeah.
All right, cool. So it sounds like you're here because you want to be one of the people who are actually taking action and seeing what we can do.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, great. Thank you. Great to have you here, Taryn.
Thank you.
Lou Billman, we'll come to you next, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lou. I've been playing netball since I was 7. So I have a really similar story to what you did, Holly, when you were talking about playing as part of a footy netball club and feeling like even as a little girl, netball wasn't as important as, for me, AFL in Victoria. I really resonated with that. In 2019, I decided to start my own netball club. And so I'm trying to sort of blend what I do in my work life. So I work in early childhood, and so I'm in a really awesome feminized workspace anyway. I have amazing women mentors around me, and I have throughout my career. And I'm trying to bring over what I learned doing that with what I have now struggled with trying to advocate for netball, female dominated spaces and female dominated sports, to get just resources, clubhouses, uniforms that work for us, bathrooms, like all those sorts of things that are important to my players. I'm trying to learn, I guess, how to blend my advocacy stuff from work life into this space now. So I coach, I mentor, I love my sport, I still play, and I'm just trying to learn more and network, I guess.
Amazing. What a skill set you're bringing here. I love how our skills can transfer both from our work into our sport and back the other way too. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lou. Great to have you here. Lou, let us know where your netball club is or what your netball club is.
So I live in a place called Mooloolah Valley, which is in Queensland, near the Glasshouse Mountains. And I started my netball club in a brand new suburb called Aura, which is, if you're a Queenslander, near Caloundra, southeast coast.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. All right, great. Now, Debbie, we'll come to you next, please. Debbie Carruthers.
I'm on the Gold Coast at the moment, but from Sydney. I have a netball background, but I'm currently in the AFL world. And what's the difference, what sets me apart, I guess, is that I'm working predominantly with boys, and it's really hard to break in as a female coach in the boy world because I'm a mother of sons and at a fairly decent level. So it's difficult. It's all men that go to training and all men that are there and all the boards and all the committees and even the shirts were all men's shirts and stuff. So yeah, not a criticism, it's just the way it is. And I'm trying to break into that world.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. That this will be a conversation that we'll talk about how we find our way through those environments in our own most authentic way. Love it. Thanks, Debbie. That topic around unisex uniforms is a hot one in this community. There are a lot of people that feel the pain of that. Thanks so much, Debbie. All right, Nicole, we'll come to you next.
Hello, I'm from South Gippsland in Victoria. Involved in hockey, cricket, netball, lots of different sports. I've been involved in sports since I was very young. And then sort of now that I'm a bit older, I'm making that transition. I'm still playing, but transitioning to coaching more and administration. And I just, as the younger athletes are coming through, I'm just really mindful that just as I looked up to the older athletes when I was younger, probably the younger girls are looking up to me now. So I'm really conscious of being a positive role model. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to sharpen my skills and make sure my skill set's good.
Awesome. All right, cool. Thanks, Nicole. Great to have you here. Now, Sienna Lane, let's hear from you.
Hello, I come from a netball basketball background. I've been playing since very young. And recently, about 2 years ago, I transitioned into the football world. So I've been in that for about 2 years now and really just want to gain some leadership to bring back to the club and gain a lot more confidence in my game. Especially with the men around in football, it's hard to get noticed. So that's me.
Thank you so much, Sienna. There are, in every program, as every team, there there are themes that happen and you'll see them play out. So keep an eye out. We also create our own culture here like any other team. So it'll be interesting as that plays out here. Thanks so much, Sienna. Kate Sanford, we'll come to you next, please.
How you going, guys? I'm Kate and I'm from Melbourne. I grew up playing every sport I possibly could, but now I'm more involved in the committee side of things. So I'm the president of our of my basketball club, and also athletics I'm heavily involved in as an official, and on their committee as well. I guess I'm just trying to find my feet as a woman leader in such a male-dominated sport, and it's just, even I coach a lot as well. So even those young boys, and also like I think it was Deb that said, just gaining that same respect that the male coaches get, and just giving me a hand in that as well.
I love that. We don't have to be the boys. We can
No,
take
we
it
don't.
taught us, but we can make it our own.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Thanks, Kate. Brenda, we'd love to hear from you, please. All right, Brenda, I can ask you to unmute if that is helpful. I know you've got this. I know you do. All right, Brenda, you let me know. All right, we'll leave it with you for a second, Brenda, and let me know when you're ready to go, and we will meet Isabel in the meantime. Now, I can't hear Isabel. Can anyone else? No. All right, Isabel, we'll get you to check your sound, please. All right. Rose, we might come to you next, please.
I play I'm in Melbourne and I play netball, footy, and I tried basketball, but like wasn't that good. And I'm trying to get into like all different stuff, like into like for footy, and I want to try and like get like, I don't know. I don't know. Like just try and do like stuff for footy and all that.
Awesome. Hey, Rose, how good is it that you're here? I love your commitment to wanting to grow as an athlete and as a leader. It's awesome. Really warm welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rose. Hey, Nikita, we'd love to meet you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Cool.
got you.
Hi, I'm Nikita. I am a personal trainer, so I coach people, but I also started my own soccer team. I have to say soccer because you guys call football something different. So I run a girls team in near Bondi Junction, actually, and really just found that there wasn't enough places for people of all levels, because what I found here is that sports are either elite level, they really want people to commit, but sometimes that's the barrier for women to get into a sport because it feels like they can't fit it around their life. So wanted to join this. Super excited to be the best coach and teammate that I can.
Awesome. Great to have you here. Thank you. Now, Brenda, it looks like you've come back in and you're off mute. Yes, we've got you. Let's hear it.
Thank goodness. Technology, huh? I am currently in Victoria and I play roller derby. Roller derby is an all-inclusive sport for all genders, and I've been playing probably for about 3 years now. And the one thing I've found that when people start playing roller derby, they all say the same thing: I wish I'd found it earlier. So encouraging people just to join in and take that first step seems to be the issue. So I'm looking to just trying to find ways to motivate people to take that first step into the sport.
Awesome.
So,
Are you a contact of Miranda's by any chance?
Oh, I am indeed. She is my captain.
Aha, I see. We had Miranda in the last program that we ran. She was fantastic.
She is fantastic, yeah.
She is. She came along on our media day and we had girls, we had people from all different sports, full kit, taking photos, and Miranda came in her skates and her helmet on the footy ground. Like there was so much going on. It was awesome. So good to have roller derby represented. Yeah, amazing. Thanks so much, Brenda.
Thank you.
Jasmine, we'd love to meet you.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yes, got you. Thank you.
Okay. So I don't play sport. I'm in Calliope, Queensland. I have 3 kids that are sport fanatics. So my son plays AFL, his twin sister plays AFL and netball, and his little sister plays netball. So I've been heavily involved with the Gladstone Suns since before they were the Gladstone Suns. So I'd grown up with a lot of the kids, and I just want to be able to support them better, and especially as a lot of them are moving up into the senior grades now. And same with netball. I just want to help all the girls, and we've started our first senior netball team this year, so I just want to help them all.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we can help you come up with some ways that you might be able to do that, and your insights here will be really valuable, really unique. Thanks,
Awesome.
Justin. Great to have you. Now, Isabel, we'll come back to you. How are you going there? No, I'm sorry, Isabel. I can't hear you. Can anyone else hear? No. Have another go. If you need to leave and come back in, I'll keep an eye out. The pleasure of Zoom. These things happen, but we must roll with the punches. All right, Justine, we'll meet you in the meantime, please.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Justine. I'm from Melbourne. I am a youth support coordinator for Hoppers Crossing Junior Basketball Club. I've been involved in basketball since I was a teenager, more as a spectator. I started coaching when my oldest son started playing 10 years ago. So long time coaching. And then obviously into committee roles. I have 4 children who play basketball, and I work with children every day in my normal job role. And my children all play from domestic to representative level. And my husband is also part of that. He's a coach and in all levels as well. So basketball family largely. And I decided I wanted to be part of Play Like a Girl, having a daughter who, when you're in a club, we have a large number of teams, but a small number of girls' teams. And we find getting girls to play and stay involved, especially as they get to that 14, 16, 18-year-old bracket, is really, really challenging. And we're continually trying to look at pathways and things we can do as a club to better that and make sure there are pathways so girls keep playing as they get older and know that that's, they can, really. So, yeah.
Awesome. We've got some real sports nuts here, don't we? We all are, aren't we? Thanks. Awesome. Thanks, Justine. Great to have you here. And the fam as well. All right, Isabel's just come back. We will go to Alison. Hannon, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, got you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Lovely. I'm go by Ali. So I'm currently in my 2nd year of playing AFL, which is obviously a very man-dominated sport. But growing up, I played pretty much anything and everything, various sports at representative levels. And the big reason I want to do this is because growing up in none of the sports, I never had a female coach. So I'm currently doing my coaching for athletics. And I have a 3-year-old daughter. So I want to make sure that I'm in a position, whatever she wants to play, that hopefully I can be involved and hopefully she has female representative that I never had growing up.
That is beautiful. I love it. Awesome to have you here. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you.
We'll come to Amy.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, got you. Thanks.
Yes. Cool. I'm Amy. I'm from Wollongong in New South Wales, and I have been a competitive runner ever since I was pretty much 6 or 7, and I still remember to this day doing little athletics, and sometimes I would race in the boys' races, and just to get that competitiveness. And I remember one of the boys' races I ran in, I won, and the dad complained and said, oh, she shouldn't be racing in the boys' race. And I just remember hearing this and being like, well, then your son should have beat me. And I just think, like, today I'm like, oh, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I'm still running. I'm running competitively. I've ran multiple marathons now, and I'm also a Running Mums Australia ambassador and a coach. So I coach about 12 women And I also have a full-time job in pharmaceuticals, but so it's very busy with the kids and work and then coaching. But I just love the coaching side of it. These women all have kids and they're just trying to, I guess, find that time and to make the time without the guilt that, yes, running or just going around the block, it's for them. It's I think I have the guilt still, but I'm like, I know I come back as a better mum because I've just taken that time out for me. So just want to make sure that, yeah, doing something for you is okay and try to remove that guilt.
Oh, I love that. Preach to the choir here. I love that you've put yourself here for this, where you're really walking your talk, aren't you? You've got so many hats that you're wearing, coaching other women and still putting yourself in development situations. Amazing. Awesome to have you here, Amy. Thank you. Freya, we'll come to you next, please.
So my name's Freya and I'm from Brisbane, Queensland. And I've been playing AFL since as long as I can remember. I did have a 3-year break though where I lived in Canada, which really opened my eyes up to playing soccer. I participated in gymnastics and swimming just to like broaden my range. But ever since I've been back in Australia, I've been with AFL. And I really love being involved in the club. So I umpire, play, volunteer whenever I can, and helped coach the under-13s team last year to help my sister because I never had a female coach at all. So I really wanted her to have the experience and all the other girls to have someone who they can talk to if they don't necessarily feel comfortable talking to a male person. But this is my first year at Cooperoo, so I'm really just trying to find my footing and show that I'm really dedicated to the sport and would love to help out as much as possible in the club and really take female sport to a next level, even though the side there is absolutely amazing.
Awesome. I love how proactive you're being. I want to come in here and show them how to take it to a new level, maybe. Love it. Awesome. Great to have you here, Freya. Thank you. Isabel, I know this is our 3rd time lucky. I just know it. Oh no, we didn't make it work. I'm sorry. Debbie, were you giving me a... Oh, type, maybe if you want to type, you can type an introduction for now, and when we go to breakout, I'll help you, Isabel, and we can figure out a plan. So introduce yourself for us in the chat so we can at least get around you, and we'll continue with the introductions. So I would love to meet Meg. Let's hear from you, please.
Hi, I'm from Melbourne and I play hockey for Camberwell. And yeah, I was lucky enough to get the scholarship this program, so I'm not entirely sure of all of it, but I'm keen to start the program. And I've done, I want to become like more of a positive leader and coach because I've done coaching for little teams at school and at hockey. So yeah.
Awesome. So hear from both from a player perspective and coaching future. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Great to have you here, Meg. Congrats on the scholarship. Shaz, we'll come to you next.
Hey.
Hey
Can you hear
there.
me?
Yes, got you. Thank
Hey,
you.
how you going?
Good.
My name's Chaz. I play football for Noarlunga Football Club. The team that started last year. So inaugural team moving into our 2nd year. But it's my 4th year of footy. It's my 2nd year as deputy vice captain, and I'm coaching the under 14 girls as well this year. I've got 3 kids that play football as well: a 14-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So can I ask a really silly question? Where did you say your football club was?
Noarlunga. I'm from Adelaide.
Adelaide. Okay, Noarlunga. I hadn't heard of that before. I thought I'm going to have to be the one that asks. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who hadn't heard of it.
No, we're the state of all the funny names. So
okay, all right, awesome. Good to have you here. Lots of mamas in the house in this program. I love it. Awesome. Thanks, Shaz. Now we have a few. Lisa Bailey. What a great surname. We'd love to meet you.
Hello.
Hi.
So Lisa Bailey, obviously I'm from Tweed Heads. I'm 50 and going through not a midlife crisis, but probably looking for a career change into something that I really enjoy more than the mundane. So my sporting life involved netball. I umpired a lot more than I played. Used to play a lot of squash. My father was a big rugby player. And so sport was very prominent in our lives. The biggest sport that I'm involved in is physical culture, which is a dancing sport. It's a competitive dance sport. And we are female prominent and actually evolved from a male dominant sport. So it's probably, I don't know any other sports that have gone that way. So I'm running a club in Tweed, and the sport is new to the area. So I'm trying to encourage everybody along. Dance can be the fun thing to do. So trying to get people to get into that competitive side is a bit of a challenge. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got all of the skills on board just to lead that club and grow the sport in the area. The other thing that I do, crucify me, is I work for local government, and I am heavily involved in sports field licensing. So I am hearing all of the issues about and seeing all of the issues about the lack of female change rooms. You know, we've got one local club up here who, you know, built a fantastic new facility for the males, and the girls get the old facility. So it's just trying to, you know, have a broader understanding of all the different sports and how they're evolving, and the things that we really need to be doing out in the community for those community sports who are increasing their female participation. And I just want to touch on something too. Like, I do know some people who are in the boxing world. So we have one of my kids I used to teach. She goes to dancing on Thursday and she goes boxing on Friday, and then she'll come to dancing on Saturday with the fat lip. So yeah, really interested to see the variety of sports that everyone's involved in, and yeah, just developing that female participation around and seeing all the roadblocks that are out there.
Yeah. This sounds like a really good time to sort of stop for a moment and reflect on all of the skills that you've got and how you take those into the next phase. Yeah, awesome. I love the duplicity too of us being able to do dancing and then rock up to boxing with a fat lip. We can do all the things and be all of the things these days. I really enjoy that.
Love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lisa. Now, Saskia, we'll come to you next.
Hello, I'm Saskia, or Sass for short. I play hockey actually and live in Melbourne. So I play for the Croydon Rangers Hockey Club out in the eastern suburbs. And I also volunteer on the committee as the events and inclusion facilitator. I'm very passionate about women getting into sport. So giving them a channel to focus on their health and well-being for a couple of hours during the week, even if they have no experience in sport. I'm not a professional player by any means, but since coming back to hockey after 25 years, it has changed my mind and body in ways that I don't even know how to explain it. But when you're part of a team and you are in a sport, it gives you your time and ability to learn new skills. And that's what I want to promote in my local community here through the club, and also support my stepdaughter who plays AFL. So the more that we can empower them through channels to build their confidence, their abilities, I think that's just going to, yeah, all ships rise. What's the saying with the...
I heard this, all ships rise with the tide, or something
Yeah,
along those
yeah.
lines. Yeah.
Everyone will benefit, yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Great to have you here. I love hearing like how sport just rejuvenates no matter what part of the journey.
Yeah, yeah, it's been beautiful.
Yeah, we're
Except
very
for a couple of
fortunate.
injuries.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I'm sure there'll be a few people in the room who relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few hands. Yeah, I hear that. Awesome. Thanks. Great to have you here. Hey, Alison, I saw your hands up. I'll hear from you next.
Yeah, look, I can empathize with you because I am also a hockey player and struggle to walk the next day after a game. But yeah, I've played hockey at a very high level for South Australia, and have retired from the high level stuff and now just play for fun. but my body still really hurts. But I also, the reason I guess why I joined this program, I started a new business recently. I coach in an athlete development program within a private school here in Adelaide for hockey. And my business focuses on coaching and leadership for young and emerging leaders and athletes. So I studied like neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy, which is all really fun, cool stuff. And I have a background in exercise physiology, so I work as an exercise physiologist as well a couple of days a week, but love the leadership world, love the athlete world, and really keen just to learn new things.
How good. I love it, Alison. So good to have you here. We've got such a diverse skill set and sport, variety of sports, I guess, in the room. I can't wait to get to know more about each other and lean on those skill sets. If all we did for the next 5 weeks was just get together on Monday and talk, we'd probably have some pretty good outcomes. But I assure you, there is heaps more where that came from. Now, I think, Jordana, you might be the last one for us to meet. If I'm wrong, please pop your name in the chat and I'll make sure I come to you. But Jordana, we'll hear from you, please.
Hello.
We've got you.
Awesome. My name is Jordana Shields. I'm from Mildura, Victoria, and I'm a hockey player, and I've done bits of coaching and umpiring and volunteering within my club. My club's Waratahs Hockey Club, and I actually coached Alison Pennington when she was a junior. So it's nice to see her. I still play hockey. I now play masters hockey at quite a high level. So we're dropping in numbers in regional Victoria with hockey players, particularly in the 14 to 16 age group. And it is a concern that I'm worried about these junior girls not taking the step to play seniors. And I want to know, I want to have some strategies and ideas of how to be a good leader and, you know, build their confidence to take that step to play senior hockey. And also, I think it will also help my masters hockey to build my confidence and my mindset as well. Yeah.
Awesome. We're definitely going to be able to support you around that. There'll be some theory and then we'll all bring it to life with our experiences and how it can actually apply. So really glad you're here. There's so many small world connections happening already, and all we have done is a very short round of introductions. It's going to be a good 5 weeks. I can feel it. Now, is there anyone who we haven't heard from yet? If you haven't introduced yourself, could I get you to pop your hand up or give me a thumbs up in the chat that can draw me to you? But I think we've got everyone. All right, someone has just arrived, so we'll let them in. I'm not sure who this will be, but we might move on, move into the next section because we've still got lots to get through, and I try and get you out of here early, not just on time, a tiny little bit early if I can. Oh, it's Isabel. Isabel, you're in disguise. Can you hear us? Can you speak and we can hear you?
I can hear you guys.
Yes, we've got you. Would you like to
I'll
do
just
your
put
intro?
on my
Hey?
I'll put on my video on my other one. Okay.
Oh, you've still got both.
So-
Sorry, I hadn't seen. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm not looking at you. Anyway. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're here. We can see you, we can hear you, so we can move into the next part of the session. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Isabel. I'm glad you sorted that out. Very good. Very good. All right. So as you can see, we've got lots of different sports. We've certainly got some themes unfolding already, and they'll continue to come up throughout the 5 weeks together. But what I want to do before we move into the next part of the session is just, actually, you know what? I think that we're going to run probably a little bit short on time because that was such a just juicy round of introductions where we've sucked up some of the time. So what I'm going to do is get into the tour of tonight's session. So we've got a bit of a program overview, an introduction to DISC, and then some performance journaling that we'll do right at the very end of the session. So just a reminder, if you haven't got a pen and paper or some kind of note-taking device, now's the time to grab it. So I am going to make sure, or what I would like to do, my intention for you My intention for you is that you walk away from tonight knowing exactly what's expected of you over the next 5 weeks. Isabel, put us on hold. Okay, there we go. All right, so you're going to walk away knowing exactly what's expected of you, exactly what you can expect from us, and how to get the most out of these 5 weeks together. I want you to feel really clear about that when we walk away from here. So I'm going to take you through a tour of the platform, how to use it, where the program material is, and anything you need to know. If you feel like you've got questions, stay around at the end and make sure you ask them. Don't leave feeling uncertain. I'll be here after this session for sure, but if you've got a question, it's likely someone else is probably thinking it, and maybe it's something I've missed. So please make sure you ask any questions you've got, whether that's in the chat or stay around at the end. So we have a 5-week program together. What happens is we have a new module of content open each week. There'll be a different theme for each module. So module 1 will be around mindset. There'll be a variety of lessons under that mindset banner that help us to start to unlock our thinking, or maybe be a little bit self-reflective around our mindset, and just to see if it's in line with the kind of performance that we want to deliver, whether that's on field or as a leader. Then module 2, we will look at your leadership game plan, and we'll start putting some things in place. I would call this more of a structural module. We'll come up with a little bit of a strategy. What is it that we'd like to work towards, and really own that? I want you to declare it. I want you to go, yeah, that's why I'm here and that's what I want. And then we'll give you some lessons to be able to build that strategy out. So the habits and the values that are going to underpin that leadership plan. Then in module 3, it's going to be lead your way. So this will be a real deep dive into the kind of leader that you want to be. If that's a female leader in a male-dominated environment, how do we really own that? And what are the skill sets that we currently have? And what are the ones we're going to need to develop to be able to do that powerfully? Then in module 4, we will talk more about leading others. So how do we get the most out of the people that we need to influence, whether that's through the way that we give feedback, whether it's the way that we develop a team, whether it's moving through stages of team development, whatever that might be, there is a whole range of leading other tools in that section. And then module 4 is the Play Like a Girl module. So this is about grit and empowerment. How do we take everything that we've learned through this program, things that we feel are really valuable and useful for us as we go out into the world and lead in the way that we desire, and how do we play like a girl, and how do we show people what that really means? So that's kind of the journey. So we start to unlock, and then we start to rebuild, and then we want to come out really powerfully at the back end. So I'm going to take you through a tour of the platform. So if you're here, it's likely that you've already navigated your way in. So that's a really good start. I will share my screen again. Can I just get a thumbs up that you can see the platform? Awesome. All right, so if you're here, it means you've been in the platform already, hopefully. If you haven't, there should be a link in your emails now. So I'll start on the left-hand panel here. So this is our navigation panel where I would start. So latest updates here on the left is as it says. These are the latest updates in the newsfeed. You'll see featured posts that we would like to draw your attention to. Anything new that gets posted will be posted here. Feel free to post, ask questions, get involved. I'll be continually posting things and sparking conversations or sharing insights and tips and events and things, but I encourage you to treat it like it's your own. This is now your home too, my friends. Make yourselves comfortable. On the left-hand side here, there is a leaderboard. The leaderboard is basically what's happening in the community at any one time. So you'll see top posts that are being engaged with, members that are near you. You'll see top members in terms of who's the most engaged at any time, featured posts, and any upcoming events. So it's a bit of an overview of everything that's going on. Just under that are our member profiles. So everyone who comes into this platform and program has a member profile. So if you want to know more about someone, you can click on their profile. So we look at Sammy here, like you set your program, your profile up, everyone else has too. So you'll come in here, there's a little bit about you. If I want to chat to Sammy and get to know Sammy, I encourage you to do that. This is a good opportunity to network. So if you see a profile that you like or someone that you're interested in getting to know, I encourage you to reach out. So there are hundreds of members in here. Everyone who is in here has already been through the program. So if you've got questions or you're unsure or feel a little bit nervous about something, people know what's coming. If you have to post something or there's something that you might need to do, people are aware and have got your back. Underneath that is our events. So any upcoming events that we have, you will always find them in here. So just like for tonight's event, the way that you would access the details, you would click on the event, that will open up. It will have the date and the time and the Zoom meeting. So if you're ever unsure where the Zoom link is, it's always in the event section. It will always be there if you're ever unsure. So there will be our weekly huddles in there, and there'll also be our guest speaker events. So this Thursday night, we have Sarah Lowe, who's the CEO of Softball Australia, coming along to run a session with us. Sarah is an absolute cracker, an amazing human, so funny, so down to earth, and just so experienced. If you can come along to that session, I highly encourage you to do that. These ones aren't compulsory, but highly encouraged. They just add to the experience. So that's on Thursday at 6 p.m. via Zoom. So if you can get there, do so. If not, the recording will be posted 24 to 48 hours afterwards, and that will go into our Growth Hub. Now, members community, this is pretty much the same as latest updates. It's just where everything is housed and you can make it your own. So if you want to show everything, you can do that. If you want to show your activity or just activity from us, you can do that, but that's a little bit more dictated by you in terms of what you see. Our Growth Hub is our pretty much recordings or replays of everything that we've done previously. So any topics that are outside what we teach in the program curriculum can be found here. Topics that we feel are really important and relevant to us as women in sport. Managing competing priorities. I'm sure that's something that we can all use a little bit more support around at any one time. Managing mental health and anxiety, stress hacking, nutrition, rest and recovery. Lots of different topics from all different speakers with different experiences that can help us along the way. We have certain specific skills from different people from different sports. These down here, our performance insights from professional athletes, are all the guest speakers that we've had come along. I'll share one of these each week as just an indication of one that might help the learning and what we're talking about that week. But we've had so many unbelievable leaders and athletes come along and share their stories with us. You'll see some amazing names here, and there's some, I mean, I'm biased. I think they're all absolutely amazing. Most of the people that we've had come along volunteer their time because they believe in what we're doing and want to be part of the next gen of leaders just like you do. And then our expert leadership insights are from women that have been around for a period of time and have a whole other level of leadership experience to share with us. Not one of these would be a waste of time. I encourage you to get involved in these as much as you can. So they'll all be sitting there for you at any time. So the way you would access it, simply click on the name there and the video will come up for you to listen to. Now, I will take you, I've got lots of programs here. You will have your one that you've got access to. So this is our program. So we are empowered to lead Red Team. We will not be Red Team for long. That will all make sense soon. But this is our private house. This is our home that no one else in the community has access to. So in here will be our own private events, our own private newsfeed, and just our members. So if you've got a question and you don't want to blast it to everyone, you can pop it in here and that's okay. So in here is also where you find the course material. So this is where definitely, if you've zoned out for a second, come back to me. This is what you need to know, people. So you will already have access to the pre-learning module. If you haven't done that already, please go ahead and do that. That will make sure you've done your disc profile and you're set up and ready to go. So as I said, each week a new module will open. This week it will be Mindset Mastery. So tomorrow morning, a notification will appear in the platform that says Module 1 is now open. So what you will do is come into here. The very first lesson says download your workbook. So you would click into that lesson and download your workbook. There will be a workbook for every module. Please save your workbooks. Please save your workbooks. They will not save what you type into them if you do not save them. There has been many broken hearts of people that have forgotten. So what you need to do is once you've downloaded it, make sure you save it to your desktop or save it somewhere. And then once you get into the lessons, you can scroll down here and you will be able to type in here. So all of the PDF documents are editable, but It will only remain in there if you save your worksheets. So I will bang on about it, but I just really want you to remember it. So the way it would work, so let's say module 1 opens, I'm going to click in here, I open up my workbook, I save it, then I would start lesson 1. So I'd click lesson 1, there will be a short video, and then it will say head to your workbook. And then I would open up my workbook and head to lesson 1. So for every single video, there's a corresponding worksheet. They're intended to be short, sharp, punchy pieces of content that we come together and discuss at our next weekly huddle. So the videos will be probably a maximum of 5 minutes each. But I would suggest not leaving it until Sunday night to do it. You can, it happens all the time, but most of this, it's a very self-reflective program. So if you can, maybe you could do a lesson a day over the week and just give yourself a little bit of time to think through it and reflect on some of the tools that we're sharing with you. Once you've finished lesson 1, you would click on lesson 2, listen to the video, and then head to your worksheet. Now, your workbooks need to come back to us before our next weekly huddle. So by Monday lunchtime of next week, I need to see your module 1 workbook. This again is one that I recommend paying attention to. There's lots of instructions, but this is something that you'll need to do every week. So let's say I've now been through module 1 and I have finished my workbook. I'm going to click the chat function here at the top right-hand corner of my screen. And I'm going to type into this chat function workbook. And then a profile with the name workbook comes up. And I'm going to add a photo or a file and attach my document just like this, and then hit enter. And then that comes to us and our workbook team can just make sure that we've got it back. Now, they're not necessarily marking it for right or wrong. It's more of an accountability piece because there's so much self-reflection. We just want you to really consider what we're talking about so that when we get to our huddle next week on Monday, you're ready to go and I can ask questions and we can have a really good conversation. Now, a couple of things that you need to know. When accessing the course material, I recommend you do that on your desktop. You can access it through your phone or the app. The Mighty Networks app is something that you can download and interact with community and get involved. But doing coursework is best on desktop so that you can use the PDFs and they're all editable. Time and commitment. So each week, it wouldn't be more than an hour and a half to 2 hours max, depending on how much self-reflection you do. The lessons are about 5 minutes each, and I'd probably allow about half an hour to work on your workbook if you were giving it the most amount of time. So I suggest planning your weeks ahead if you can. In week 5, and you'll hear this from me time and time again, week 5, there is a final project. So you need to allocate a little bit more time that week. I just want to make sure you've got the heads up so that you're not surprised. There will be the final week content and a project. So that week there's a tiny little bit more work for you. So just so you've got the heads up that week there'll be an extra project. So just to recap, each week new module opens, you'll get a notification saying that that's available. And then you download your workbook, go through the lessons, send your workbook to me, come to the huddle. Bob's your uncle. I was like, do I say that? I just said it. Here we are. All right. I'm sure we can come up with better phrases than that. I can come up with better phrases than that. Anyway, so that's the program. Other things that you've got access to in this community, you've got Play Like a Girl job opportunities. So we know in this room that because we've played sport, we've got some skills. We've got a whole lot of transferable skills, and that makes us very employable. So we at Play Like a Girl have corporate partners and we have friends and a network of people who are often looking to hire. So we like to make sure that we're sharing job opportunities and we can give you a warm introduction if anything comes up that you like. So keep an eye on that or join that group if you're interested. And then any of the other groups we've got, we can set up private groups for particular clubs or schools that are coming through the programs. Now, I'm going to check on the chat function because I've just said a whole lot of things at you and I want to make sure that you're taken care of. Are there replays available? Yes, replays are available. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to stop my screen share now and I will move us into the next section. So we'll shake that off. Lots of information. We're going to just do a little bit of an icebreaker between things. So what I would love for you to do is think about, in your sport, what does leadership look like? So I've got 2 questions for you. What does leadership look like? And when have you witnessed good leadership, an example of good leadership? So we're going to go into some breakout rooms, and it's an opportunity for you to meet 1 or 2 other people and just have a conversation for a couple of minutes and share what good leadership looks like for you in your sport. So are there any questions before I open up breakout rooms for you? Are you good to go? I think you're good to go. Yeah, all right, amazing. So I'm going to open up some rooms here in just a second, and I will see you in about 5 minutes' time. Enjoy. Time to have a good chat about some examples of leadership. I think you might have. Awesome. All right, welcome back, team. We will wait for everyone to come back. Hopefully you got to meet someone new. Hey there. Hey, Brenda. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, really good.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it when everyone gets back. I wish I could be a fly on the wall in all of the conversations. But
How many groups did you have? Like different
8 different groups.
Yeah, cool.
So there will be plenty to talk about, and a couple of people just arriving by the looks. All righty. All right, welcome back, team. Everyone's filtering back through. We've just got a couple more to go. All right, we have everyone back in the room. So I hope you got to meet someone for the first time, and maybe in your room you discovered some themes potentially in what you'd seen in terms of good examples of leadership. Who would like to be the first person that could share an insight from your room? What was something that you heard that would be really valuable for us to hear about? Is there a theme that you heard that you'd love to share with us? Kate and then Shaz, thank you.
Yeah, we were just, well, there's lots of different things that we discussed, but just being a positive role model towards refs, coaches, and we also really touched on the retention of girls in sport. So just the positive things are leading by example, and we're just trying now think of ways that we can develop that more so that it spreads across our whole club or whatever area that we're involved in. Yeah, just making that positive difference.
Awesome. And Kate, was there any sort of actionable or behavioural sort of things that you were able to identify in those leaders? Like, how would we know if we saw it?
Oh gosh, we didn't really get that deep into it. I mean, look, I'll use an example of myself as a coach. Start of the season, I always pull up all the parents and we sort of lay down the law and just say, look, this is, I want you to cheer on, I want you to encourage, but nothing negative. And refs, these kids are going to be refs one day. Let's show these refs that are reffing our children the respect that we want our kids to be shown when they're out there. And so I guess that's probably the most that we had as an example. But
Yeah,
just sort of leading just straight from day one, setting that tone and leading by example right through.
Yeah, as in how we speak to other people, no matter what role they hold, and leading from that perspective. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. Shaz, you were next, please, and then Lou will come to you next.
So we had a little chat as a group, which was lovely. And we touched on some of the positives like about leadership and what leadership sort of meant to us, but then we also delved into some of the negatives as well, to put a bit of perspective on things.
Would you like to share some of those with us?
Positives or negatives?
Let's start with, we've got all the time in the world for the negatives. What were some good examples of leadership, or what were some behaviours that we would identify with as being good leadership?
Well, something that I actually said was, you have experiences with different types of leaders and the way they do things. But something that I've really taken away with leadership is that it's not about putting yourself on a pedestal and being like, oh, I'm the leader, yay. And like, it's about serving. And if you're not prepared to serve to help people reach their goals, then leadership probably isn't for you.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I often am amused when people in leadership say, oh, yeah, but I just don't like people. It's like, that's your job. Like
Yeah.
if you don't like people or that's not something you don't want to manage people, it's not for you. I think that's a good, really, really good point, Shaz. Thank you. Hey, if there's things that come to mind for you, go ahead and pop it in the chat because we'll have one or two more shares. But I think about leaders that I've had, and I think it felt like they really cared about me and my development. So they could help me technically, but they cared about me as a person too. I felt like that would be something that'd get a really good performance out of me. If there's something for you, go ahead and pop it in the chat for me. And Lou, I don't know if you intended to have yourself off mute, but I saw it. So now that I've already told everyone that you were going to share, you may as well.
I did not intend whatsoever, but I'll take it.
Awesome.
Look, I think in my sport in particular, netball can be really traditionalists. And so people who are in decision-making roles follow the way that we've always done things, and that serves a particular group of people. And often that group of people are the 1% of players who may be so competitive and driven, and they're athletes naturally, and they want to be, for me, at SSN level. So they want to be professionals at the sport. What I find is that when we have leaders that are not open to change or not brave enough to kind of challenge the status quo, we have all of these bright ideas and conversations, but nothing actually ever changes. And so for me, I think the word that I think of when I think about the positive leaders I've had professionally and anytime anything to do with netball is dauntless. So whenever there is an idea, they will just go hell for leather at convincing everyone who needs to be convinced that this is a good idea and that we should just try it, and that it's okay to make a mistake and go back and go, sorry guys, that didn't turn out the way we thought. We'll try something else.
Yeah, I love that, Lou. There's so many things that I heard in what you said. And if you heard something else, pop it in the chat for me. But I heard, what was the word that you used?
Dauntless.
Dauntless.
Like then,
yeah. I hear
Yeah.
bravery. I hear courage. I hear inclusive. The ability to, or the ability, I guess, to allow yourself to fail, and for that to be a really good thing. I went to an event on Friday actually, and there was a person at the organization, the CEO of a podcast, the CEO, why can't I think, the Diary of a CEO podcast. There is a person in that organization whose role title is head of failure and experiment. They value it that highly that they have someone going around poking and prodding at things and asking questions to say, how can we fail more? How can we learn more from this? We know when we fail, we probably learn more the most. They stay with us. And so, yeah, I thought that was super interesting. But I love that in the context of leadership, allowing that to be okay. Doesn't that create trust? And isn't that what we want in leadership, to be able to trust our leaders and to feel trusted back? There's so many great comments here coming through, so thank you. But I also feel that good leadership is about being able to listen and make all the players feel safe as possible. Absolutely, that psychological safety is so important in high-performing teams. It also introduces vulnerability to the environment. Absolutely, absolutely. I love this. There's heaps coming through. So if you've got something that you haven't shared yet, go ahead and pop it in the chat now. Debbie, you're off mute. Is that telling me that you've got something to share?
No, I didn't realize I was. Apologies.
Oh, Debbie, what have you got to share? Give us an insight. What did you talk about in your room?
I was in the same group as Shaz, and I was really impressed with her thing about servitude. Sometimes as women, we serve so much that we forget about to look after ourselves as well. But yeah, I love everything that's saying. And for me, giving people a voice is really important too.
Definitely, definitely. Now, what we're observing, I want to make sure that this place feels safe as well. So it's interesting as we watch through this program how we evolve as a team too, and we can directly apply a lot of the things that we're learning here. And you'll see what that means as this program unfolds. But one of the things that I think is really important to highlight and acknowledge is that there'll be people in this room that feel really encouraged and happy to share at any point throughout the program. And there'll be people that feel really nervous about doing that and might not put their hand up, but they're okay to maybe when I prompt them. Or maybe it feels like I'm being a little bit too forceful when I say, come and share. But I'm going to do my best to create an environment where you feel enough challenged that it's safe for you to share and get it wrong. But I think it's really important for all of us to remember that all of us will be different in the way we go about it. And the way that I want to move into this next section is we're going to do our DISC profile. So when we're in rooms, there might be someone that speaks up all of the time, and there might be someone that doesn't really speak up at all. And there'll be people that love going into breakout rooms and getting around everyone, and they've just got such a good vibe. And there'll be people that are like, that is my worst nightmare. So it's important for us to have a perspective that not everyone is the way that we are. And our DISC profiles give us a really good reminder of that. We might be values aligned, we might have a lot of passion, but at the end of the day, there are intricacies that make us all very different. And being really mindful of that in this program and in these sessions is a good practice for when we're out there with our teams and when we're coaching and when we're leading. So what I will get you to do is if you have done your DISC profile, can you please pop your preferences in the chat function for me? So your number 1 and 2 preferences. So if I was putting my DISC profile in here, I would say I'm an ID. So my profile was ID, so I will pop those 2 letters into the chat function. Now, if you haven't completed your DISC profile yet, that's okay, but I'm going to get you to make an assumption as we move through this next section, and I can help you with that before we go into rooms again. But we're going to do just a really brief overview of DISC, and then we're going to use it throughout the program. So we'll use it pretty much in every live session that that I facilitate. We find you'll see how it layers over so many of the other tools that we use. But as you can see in this chat, we've got a variety of different profiles. You might have been in a room with someone and now you go, okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me. Once you start seeing the world through this profile, it is fascinating. It's fascinating. Now, there will be people in this room who have a high D profile who are like, Holly, get on with it. What is the result that you need from me? I just need to know what you need me to do and I'll get it done. There are people who are high I profile, are just like, this is so much fun. I'm going to love coming here and getting to know everyone. I'm going to network. I really enjoy the social side of here. The learning might come secondary to the social side. And then there's the people who are an S profile who want to make sure that this does feel like a much safer environment and that they're okay to share in the vulnerability that I'm asking for. And then someone who's a C profile might be like, Holly, way too much fluff. I need detail, I need system, I need structure, and your flippant non-approach to detail is not working for me. So I need to be mindful in facilitation that we've got a variety of different people here. And for you, when we're in breakout rooms, we have all different types of communicators. So I'm going to pop the DISC profiles up on my screen here, just as a reminder, and I'm going to go through some of the attributes of each profile. And if it's you, can I get a yes, I hear that? Or if it's someone I know going, gosh, that resonates, but I want you to keep the vibes high in the chat while I share these. So just a little bit about DISC. This is something we're going to use throughout the entire program. So if you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to go back to the pre-learning and have a little bit of a look. This really sets the pre-work for some of the discussions that we're going to have. Now, this is a tool that's been used for many, many years. We use it in the context of communication mostly. How do we like to be communicated to? How do we like people to communicate to us? And how are we going to use it to lead in the most powerful way? So the profile that is the D profile, the D of DISC, is dominance. So this profile tends to be someone who is highly motivated by winning, competition, and success. They prioritize taking action, accepting challenges, and achieving results. They're someone who tends to be really strong-willed, driven, and determined. A D profile tends to be quite outspoken and can be rather skeptical at times and questioning others. Now, someone who has a strong D profile will be someone you definitely want to put in a position where you need to get results. A classic quote might be, what's the point of winning if playing if winning isn't the goal? Now, if we've got a D profile in the house, I don't know that we have that many high D only. If we do, can I just get a yes or a thumbs up in the chat? I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not sure that we've got too many D profiles in the house. Now I'm going to move on to an I profile. Yes, this is very high D. Okay, also I would say D index too. Awesome. Now we're going to look at the I profile. So this is the influence profile. Very motivated by social recognition, group activities, and building relationships. You'll see on this quadrant here, this is a very people-focused profile. They tend to prioritize collaboration, expressing enthusiasm, and often described as someone who's got a really good social intelligence, really optimistic, enthusiastic, and can be really influential. If you're an I profile, let me know in the chat. Looks like Amy might be an I. When I's get together, it's very hard to get them to focus on results. So I would put a D profile in a group of I's and make sure things get done. Something you might hear from an I profile is variety is the spice of life. Now we're going to look at an S profile. This is a steadiness profile. This profile can be identified often in the way that they speak. It can be in the tonality. It can be in the pace. This I like to think of as the mother archetype. An S profile is someone who will really prioritize cooperation and opportunities to help and sincere appreciation. They won't want to move too quickly. They want to feel like they've got enough information and that this is going to be helpful for everyone. Now, this person will probably be described as patient and calm, and they like deliberate, stable conditions that are consistent. If you're an S or this resonates with you, can I get a yes in the chat? Something that you might hear from an S profile is better safe than sorry. And finally, there's lots of S's in this room, which is good to know, isn't it? So it means we can temper things a little bit. Now we look at a C profile. C's are motivated by opportunities to gain knowledge, show their expertise, and produce really quality work. They prioritize accuracy, maintaining stability, and challenging assumptions. They can be someone who can do a really good critical analysis of information. They often described as careful, analytic, systematic, someone who might have a really strict routine in their pre-game for their sport. They tend to be quite accurate and tactful. Something you might hear a C profile say is, you want something done right, do it yourself. Sometimes a C profile can overdo the perfectionism at times, can't we all? But this profile is pretty renowned for it. So that attention to detail can work in both their favor and sometimes not. So the C profile can be called compliance or it can be called conscientious. It depends what tool you are using. So the way that we've used this, I've seen it, we use it in a variety of different ways, but one of the football clubs I worked with doing disc profiles was really fascinating, where we had everyone do the profile and we saw that we had, I think, one D profile in that group, and that was our captain. And then we had a whole lot of I profiles, so a lot of influence. So that meant that there was always lots of energy and vibe going around, but we really needed someone to come in there and make sure that they were getting things done at certain times. But we found that the I profiles tend to be the forward line. Then we found that our mids were compliant, so they needed quite a lot of detail, and we found that our backline was steady. Now, this insight, this was generally speaking, but this insight was really helpful because we had a coach who wanted the girls to be able to give really direct feedback to each other. That was something he thought was really important for the season. And when we did our profiles, we said, well, we have a whole team of people with a profile who are influential, and they're not going to prioritize having a difficult conversation over building relationships and being liked. They're going to prioritize that more. So if you want to encourage them to give feedback, you're going to have to educate them. So, and then we look at our mids and we go, they're all really high detail. So from a coaching perspective, understanding what profiles we've got, we say, all right, we need to walk through the game plan, give them as much information as possible so that they can go out and execute to the best of their abilities. So understanding profiles means we can set ourselves up and set others up for success in the way that they like to be communicated to and with. Now, in a very short activity here, I'm going to get you to go into a room with other people who have a similar profile to you. Now, if you don't know what profile you are, I'm going to get you to have a guess, or if you're not sure, stick around with me and I'll look after you. But for about 5 minutes, we're going to go into a room and meet some other people with a similar profile to you. So your number one preference, ideally, I'm going to open up 4 rooms. Room 1 will be D, room 2 will be I, room 3 will be C, and will be S. Sorry, I've really confused that. D1, I2, S3, C4. Disc. The way it's spelled is the order that it will go in. Now, these are the questions for you to share in your conversation, I encourage you to take a photo of this. I will pop it in the chat, but if you want to take a photo now, that's a good idea so that you know what you're talking about when you get into the breakout rooms, and I'm going to set those up for you. So I'm just going to recreate those while you're taking photos. And if you've got any questions, now's the time to bring yourselves off mute and just let me know. All right. So hopefully you've got those questions. I will drop them in the chat for you so that you definitely do. Now those rooms should be opened up. Can you see 4 rooms in front of you? I don't think so. Yes, we do. Yes. Okay. If you can't see it yet, stick around. I'll look after you. D is 1, I is 2, S is 3, C is 4. All right, we've got some concentration faces. If you need a hand, reach out, let me know.
Sorry, Holly, I can't see the rooms.
Okay, which room are you going into?
I'll be going to room 2.
All right, room 2. Awesome. I'll pop you in there. Room 2. See you soon. All right, who else needs a hand?
I think I need to go into 3, S.
Awesome. I'll pop you in there. Rose, are you okay?
I don't know what room I'm meant to be in because I need help with that.
Sure. Have you done your profile yet?
That's what I was looking at, but I don't think so.
Okay, that's all right. Was there a profile that you heard that sounded familiar to you?
Not really.
All right. Why don't you stick around with me for a second and I'll set Shaz up. Shaz, do you know which room you might go to?
Yeah, I'm an I, so 2.
Awesome.
Please.
All right. Let's pop you into Shaz into room 2. All right. See you soon. All right, Rose, we may as well hang out for a couple of minutes if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, awesome. I just look at room number 3. There's like 10 people in there. I don't know how they're going to get anything done in that room. Now, so the profiles that we're talking about, actually through the pre-learning module, have you been through the pre-learning yet?
I'm pretty sure. Let me just check. On Gmail?
In our community platform. Are you in there yet?
I'm on the Play Like a Girl this page.
Yeah, awesome. So if you go into course material.
Yep.
And then there should be a few lessons there that are open.
Introduction diss.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can do it when we jump off. It'll take probably 5 or 6 minutes to go through the survey.
Yeah.
But it'll ask you a bunch of questions on what you feel like you do well and what you would do less of. And then it'll give you a result. And then the next lesson, it'll get you to pop your result in there, and then I'll get it from there.
All right.
So it's really fascinating. It kind of, I feel like sometimes you see yourself or your personality or your communication on an assessment, but it's really fun to play with, so it won't be too much hard work.
All right.
I think I saw a photo of you on socials about getting your scholarship.
Yeah, my coach went a bit crazy. She got really excited.
That's amazing. Was there a few people that were encouraged to apply from your club and they gave it to you?
Yeah, they saw it and then because I'm on my last year in juniors for netball, so they're looking for all the top age girls, and it was out of me or one of my teammates, and they chose me because I had a lot of good reasons. So yeah,
they must see leadership potential in you.
Yeah, because I umpire and I did the beginners coach course because I wanted to coach under 9s, but my schedule's a bit too busy, so
yeah, it's hard managing everything, isn't it? Trying to squeeze everything in: sport, school, friends, family, all of it.
Yeah.
What position do you play netball?
I'm a bit everywhere, but my main is probably defense. I used to do attack. I was really good at attack, but then I just like kind of lost it. Like, so I moved to defense, and I'm a lot better at defense now.
Yeah, okay. As in you've grown the skill there, or you've got a bit more comfortable?
I've definitely grown the skill, and yeah, I think footy helped because you need to do a lot of defense in that. So
it really helps with defense in netball.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah, footy and netball kind of help each other because with marking, you get that from netball. With defense, you get that from football. So yeah.
Totally agree with you. I think I probably already played netball like a footballer, but then after I started playing football, I was still playing netball, but I would just like defensively be even more physical than I ever was.
Yeah.
But I think I agree. And I sort of had a realization one day where I was playing footy, trying not to look like a netballer, but then I was like, I'm only good at footy because I've been a good netballer. It works so well together, and it's like, yeah, it's because of that skill set that you're good at the other sport too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna let these girls come back in a sec so we can finish up on time. So are you down on the peninsula?
Yeah.
Down Rye or Rosebank?
Yeah, Rye, Sorrento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And what year are you in at school?
Year 9.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's awesome that you've been like, yeah, that you're in that. I mean, I would, oh God, to be in something like this and to be thinking about this stuff at your age in sport. I'm sure people will say that all the time. When I was your age, or I wish I was your age, but to be thinking about this will just be so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very excited for you.
Thank you.
All right, let's welcome everyone back in. We're definitely behind time, so I've already failed on session 1. Shame. All right. Welcome back. Hey, Alison, did you have enough time?
Yeah.
Which room were you in?
S.
Oh, that was massive.
Yeah.
Was the conversation flowing?
It was. I was quietly observing.
Okay, sure. Yeah. When I saw the size of that group, I thought, okay, I wonder, it'd be fascinating to see if anyone takes the lead or like how a group of S's play out, you know?
Yeah, everyone was very much on the same page. Like personalities were definitely lining up.
Yeah. I think we'll see that play out a whole lot more throughout the program. And Alison and Isabel, were you both from the S gang as well?
No, I'm from the
Okay.
I gang and I accidentally clicked the wrong bloody button, so here I am.
Oh, you accidentally let yourself out.
Yeah.
Alison,
that
had
was
you
a
done
whoopsie.
had you done this before?
You've gone
Ooh.
mid-conversation.
Oh, okay. Everyone's come back in on off mute. Okay, so we're right on at the end here. So we are going to go for like 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. I hope I don't lose your trust from session 1 where I've already gone overtime. I try my hardest not to do that, but we've been so great and chatty that we've gone a little bit over time. So I will have you out of here at 8:05. Now, I just want to hear an insight from each room. So our room number 1, our D profile room, can you please share with us what kind of results you got in your room or what you spoke about? Who was in D room, please?
Yeah.
Kate, yep, also, oh, Nikita, love to hear from you.
I think Kate unmuted, so Kate, take it away.
No, Nikita, you're on.
There were 4 of us doing the D, and I think, to be honest, it was really funny because we're all driving results, so we got super into it, straight to the point. We talked about how we like direct, clear communication, being as efficient as we can, getting to the outcome as soon as we can. We were also very reflective on our blockers and our fears. We hate failure. We probably assume everyone's like us and get frustrated when they're not, but actually, you know, you have to know and remember that not everyone is on that same page. And then also, when we are stressed, we probably thrive under stress because it just makes us more motivated to get to the result. However, we all accepted that that's also probably a situation where we end up being by ourselves and wanting to just reflect before you then pick yourself up, go again. Yeah, I think that was sort of what we said. We also all agreed at the end it's probably a good thing there aren't more Ds, because it would probably be quite intense if there were 25 Ds. And we're super excited to learn and discuss with the other IS and Cs.
Yeah, awesome. Great share. Thank you. I would be thinking to myself, how will I facilitate a room of 25 D profiles? That would be a new game for me. How funny.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear. Thanks for that. I profiles. What happened in your room? I bet it was a heap of fun. Amy, would you like to share?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was lovely to meet the ladies and just talk through. And yeah, we all were very similar. I think our biggest takeaway was that, yeah, we just like to just do so much. I guess I'm constantly being told, Amy, you're taking on too much. But I'm like, full-time work, running 100 Ks a week, coaching 12 women, 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, don't sleep. But I'm like, I have to just do that. Like if I didn't do that, I would fall apart doing this scholarship. It's just like I always am, and I think we kind of all felt like we always wanted to do more. And it's that dopamine hit and that sense of achievement that we want to keep ticking things off. But then yeah, our fears of failure and rejection and what do we do? Like we either go to complete avoidance or like overload more and more and more to like try and work through it. So it was really interesting to hear the girls, and yeah, very considerate of others and other people's feelings, and sometimes put others ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
Definitely. That's a great summary. And I think that last piece that you shared about putting others before yourself, that will be consistent in this room. This profile and the S profile will be ones that probably do that a little bit more than some of the others. So thanks for sharing that, Amy. And that will take us straight into the S group. Now, we have a lot of S's in this room, more probably than any cohort has had of one profile. I think we had 10 S profiles in that room. So would someone like to take the lead here for me and share some of the themes that you talked about in your room? Who would it? Oh, Alison, I see that kind of hand. I'm going to call you. Are you okay to share with us, please?
I'm just scratching my head.
I know, but I'm like a hawkeye on here. I'm keeping an eye on all of you.
I guess an overall vibe of the group was that they're very considerate of what other people are thinking and other people's feelings. Maybe even to the degree that it does hold us back because we're so worried about what other people are thinking. It was just, I think everyone was speaking the exact same thoughts. I personally didn't say much because anything I thought to say, someone just jumped out and said it. And then, we were just saying about how we sort of pull into ourselves when something does happen. And I think someone used the word hide under my blankets, and that's probably very true, and maybe even another limitation because we don't want to ruffle feathers or put our hands up. And it definitely has positive effects because we do care so much, but on the same wavelength, it does hold us back.
Yeah, it's just an awareness piece, isn't it? To go, here's where it works really well for me. Here's where it can make me a really great leader. And here's where it's going to limit me at times. And I just need to be mindful that I might go into my shell, or that I might need to be a bit more considerate here about myself in this scenario and the people that I lead. So it's a really good awareness piece. And it's going to be interesting to watch this unfold for your group. And hopefully by the end, we all feel comfortable to share. And there's lots of chat in that group too. So thanks heaps, Alison. Now our C profiles, there was only a couple of us. Who would share from our Cs? I think, is it Jordana and Lou? You've both got the biggest grins on your faces, or are you just having a great old time? Who's going to share on behalf of the Cs, please?
It was Nicole and I, but she can share because I've talked already a lot today.
So we look at that beautiful delegation. That is leadership at its finest. Nicole, where are you? You've been handballed too.
Yeah, received. Well, us two little C introverts had a lovely little chat together about our hilarious tendency to overanalyze things and how that can be a great strength, but also something that really gets in the way at times of action.
I can see how that happens, and you'll probably see things everywhere going, oh, I'd be able to fix that up, or I could do that. But what a skill set. I love a C profile because it's so opposite to me. I'm like, can you please come in and make sure things are okay and in order? And there's some form of process. If you can't get some, a high I. So a C profile is just my dream partner. Thanks so much, Nicole. Appreciate you sharing. And for everyone who challenged themselves a little bit straight from the get-go. We haven't even started yet, and you're already really immersing in these conversations, immersing in the chat, in the groups. I really acknowledge you for doing that, for putting yourself in this room and for the course generally. I think that's something to be really proud of, and there is so much more to come. So I'm going to stick around for about 5 minutes or so. So if you've got questions, feel free to stick around and pop them in the chat for me. But just in summary, I would love to hear from each of you, probably in the chat while we only have 2 minutes to go. What is something that you're most looking forward to about this program? Now that we've had a little bit of a chat today and we've started to get to know each other and we've got a little bit of an idea about what's ahead, what's one thing you're looking forward to? Go ahead and light up that chat function for me. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a summary. If you have to head off, I totally understand. So tomorrow morning, our module 1 will open. Download your work, we'll go through those lessons. Thursday night, we will have Sarah Lowe come along for a live mentoring session. So get there if you can. Recording will be posted on Friday. Something else that you will see pop up this week, we will set up smaller learning groups for you to be able to connect and ask questions and just interact. And there'll be some questions that we pop in there just to encourage connection and community in here. So there'll be some learning groups that get set up for you to get to know each other. And each week I'll give you a little heads up, each week as an icebreaker, we do a trivia game. And there's a good prize, but it's all women's sport based. So if you're competitive, I don't know if anyone here is really competitive, but if you are, maybe brush up on your women in sport trivia, because that will mean that you'll do really well in the trivia game. So thanks so much for all of those coming through. I think that for tonight, that's all I have for you. But if there are any other questions or anything that you feel like you need clarity around, please ask for it. It would be myself or my colleague Sarah, who's in the community too, who'll be here to help you out. But for tonight, that is the end of the show all. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you for being here. I'm really looking forward to the next 5 weeks together. Thanks all. See you later.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya. See you next week, team. See you, Shaz. Thanks, Kate.
You just got a question in the chat other than
no, come and ask
oh.
me. What have you got a question to help with?
From me, I've found the link to get into the platform, but then it says my email or whatever, and I'm not a member, and I don't know how to become a member or something.
All right.
It takes me to the sign-on page, but I don't know how to create an account in the first place.
Does it say create a profile?
It says when I clicked on create a profile, it said something like what did it say? It didn't let me create a profile, but it does say underneath, continue with Google or Facebook. Yeah, it says create account, and then you click on create account, and it says choose a plan. No plans available.
Oh, that's weird. Let me send you a link now that you should be able to click on. That will bring you straight in. So here it is. I'm going to share this link in the chat for you.
In the chat, yeah.
Does that not work? Oh, that one's not there. Here we go. All right. Click on that link and let me know if you can get straight through to set up a profile. And while you do that, I'll chat to Sienna here so you can get out of here. Hey,
Yeah, no
Sienna,
worries.
can I help you?
Yeah, I just want to let you know next week I won't be in the session at all as it's my birthday, but so I just want to let you know that. And I did notice that you played for KCBFL.
I did.
That's
Yeah.
where I currently play at the moment. So just I want to
There you go.
Yeah, so I
Well,
play with
happy birthday for
Virginia
next
Ali.
week. Number one.
Thank you.
Number two, well done on the win on the weekend.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Would you know like Ali Kirkwood and stuff?
I do, yeah. I played with
Yeah.
Ellie when I was at Casey, and then
Yeah.
I'm now at Port Melbourne Football Club. I'm on the board there, and then
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, and do some leadership and culture work with them. So, did you play on the weekends?
No, I don't. I also play for Gippsland Power as well, so
Awesome.
bit of both. Yeah.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
used to do a development coach role for Gippsland Power back in the day, like quite a few years ago now. Back when Tyler
Yeah.
Hanks was hanging around.
Yes, yeah.
Small world,
Crazy.
hey?
No worries. It is very small.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad to meet you. Good to have you here, and no worries about next week. If you
Yeah.
feel like you want to catch up and just do some one-on-one stuff, feel free to reach out and we can set up a time.
Perfect. No worries. Thank you heaps.
All right. Have a good night.
No. See ya.
See ya. How'd you go, Debbie?
I'm trying to reuse
Trying?
something that I can't find. Yeah.
Did it take you through to sign up?
Yes, it did, which it didn't do before. So
Okay.
it should be okay hopefully when I add my password.
All
Yeah.
right. All
Yeah. Okay. I should be right then.
Okay. Feel free to message me if you need a hand with anything.
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.